Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel. My name is Mike. I'm continuing my Week 15 NFL previews and analysis. This video is for the Thursday night game between the Denver Broncos and the San Diego Chargers. This game will be played in Denver, and Denver obviously with a record of 11-2, sitting atop not only the AFC West but also the AFC as a whole. And San Diego at 6-7 with their playoff lives flickering. Absolutely need a win here on the road at their division rival. And you have San Diego sort of holding serve last week at home, dominating the Giants. And their offense, once again led by Phillip Rivers, came out and was clicking on all cylinders, played very well. They took some opportunities that were given to them by Eli Manning and the Giants offense in the form of turnovers, turned those into points. And it was a little bit of a rout there in San Diego. Obviously a totally different beast now going up against Peyton Manning and his Denver offense that put up over 50 points again on Tennessee. Tennessee still scores 4 touchdowns in the game, okay, but allows over 50. So you see when this Denver defense sometimes doesn't play well early, the offense makes up for that, and the defense capitalizes late with forcing some turnovers like they did in the game versus Tennessee. And I look at the matchup between the Chargers cornerbacks versus Demaryius Thomas and Eric Decker as really being the matchup of this game. If you've looked at how these Chargers corners have played throughout the season, they played very poor. Derek Cox has been benched, more than once this year. He was their big free agent acquisition at the cornerback spot. Can they get better than expected play out of those corners? I know Welker, okay, is out for this game. He has a concussion, but that slot spot will be manned by Jacob Tamme. He's usually the guy who gets the Welker snaps when Welker can't play. He'll be adequate enough. I just think there's such a big mismatch on the outside. That's worth monitoring, as well as obviously now Julius Thomas back for this game as well, fully healthy for the Broncos. We'll see how they adapt to him as well. But for the Broncos, that loss a couple weeks back to New England, what it did was it's now going to force the Broncos to play pedal to the metal the whole way through the regular season because they have a 1-game lead on the Patriots, who they would lose a tiebreaker to. So they sit with 2 losses, New England with 3. So you're going to see them still clicking on all cylinders, still playing as normal. Again, the familiarity between Mike McCoy and the Broncos and Mike McCoy. I think it works sort of both ways here. We'll see how that plays itself out. I thought the Chargers gave the Broncos a very good game in the first one. They were able to limit this Broncos offense as much as anyone has in good weather. And the weather, again, an important factor whenever Manning plays now down the stretch here. It's supposed to be a high of 50 and a low of 30 in Denver on Thursday. Again, it's not the cold temperatures that I think bother Manning, as I said last week, and he went out and had a big game when it was 10 degrees out. It's the wind that I think really bothers Peyton Manning. It's not supposed to be windy. It's not going to be overly cold for a December game. Okay, and I think when you combine, I think the Chargers are going to put up points just like the Titans did, but I think that lack of secondary depth and lack of good corners is really going to hurt them in this one. And I expect Decker and Demaryius Thomas throwing a little bit of Noshawn Moreno to have big games in this one. And I like Denver, okay, minus the 10.5 at home, all right, to get to that 12th win, okay, and to put themselves even more in the driver's seat for that #1 seed in the AFC. I think the Chargers are a very good team. I think when all said and done, I think they're, the 6th best team in the conference. But just the way things have felt for them this year, they've lost some close games, and I think that's what, in the end, was going to keep them from getting in the playoffs. But I think they lose here. Just too much up against it with this Denver offense at home in what should be calm weather in Denver. Denver minus 10.5. Guys, let me know what you think. Hit me up in the YouTube comments. Hit me up on Twitter at SNewsAnalysis. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. I preview every game every week. Always talking to news of the day. We will be talking more NFL draft stuff as we get into middle, late, early January. Don't worry, I've been watching all the college football too. Just waiting to hold my analysis till I gather all my info. Thanks again for listening. Have a great night.